I'm joined by heavyweight Chris Daukaus and company, by the way, too. He takes on Shamil Abdurakhimov at UFC Fight Night 191. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. The beard's looking nice, man. You didn't
Yeah,
have that last time we talked.
yeah. I decided to grow it out. I'm not really going to work much anymore, so I can grow the beard out, and it's all good. I'm loving it, and the wife's loving it, so it's all that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah. It seems like the hair's a little longer too.
Oh yeah, dude. I kind of let myself go a little bit. Just been focusing on the fight camp, and I'll be more professional come fight week. So
I was gonna say you're not gonna go with like a mullet or anything, or
no, definitely not. No way.
they'll seem to be trending nowadays.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, a bunch of different people have them, but I'm not gonna be one rocking a mullet. So
Yeah,
what's
and
up?
I know you just mentioned work there too.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with that?
Funny. The day after my fight, so the 25th, that'll be my 10-year mark with the police department. I can actually walk away and have
Oh
a
wow.
pension and all that. So, I've had some time saved up, so I'm using my time. And then, so yeah, I'm gonna go in after the fight and kind of put the ball in the motion as far as getting my pension, all set up. And gonna take a leave of absence, and I'm not going back. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
You said you're taking some time off now too. Like, are you
Yeah,
already kind of seeing of what that life's gonna be like training full
yeah.
time?
Yeah. It's a little weird. It was a little difficult to get used to. You know, just the whole overtraining or picking up like doing extra training throughout the day. Kind of wore down on my body a little bit at the beginning of camp, but I adjusted, made the necessary adjustments, and I'm firing on all cylinders. I'm good to go.
Yeah. What like I mean, you kind of talked a little bit about, but like, what big differences? Like, do you feel like you're improving like a lot faster too?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, like I was only doing a session or two sessions a day. So come here, you got to sit down. So I was only doing a session or two a day, and with the added, I'm doing like 2 to 3 sessions depending on the day. So it's really good as far as working on specific things. So yeah, I can spend a whole week or a whole day working on a specific thing. So that's really helped my game a lot, and I really can't wait to show off all the improvements for this camp.
Yeah, I think your son's helping too because we were talking about police officer. He had the little police like dog
Yeah,
in there.
he's ready to go, man.
Yeah, he
Chase
just
the puppy
added.
dog
Yeah,
car.
he's just
Yeah,
adding imagery to the interview,
that's
so
it.
it's
That's
perfect.
it.
But I do want
Right?
to get your take too. I know Philadelphia and everything like that, but from
Yeah.
what I've heard, I'm no longer in that area anymore. But I've been hearing there's a lot of like crime and stuff like that too. I mean, do you feel like you're
Yeah.
getting out out at a good time where it
Oh
is
yeah.
seems like it's getting a little more dangerous there?
Oh yeah, it's definitely gotten more violent. Like I mean, even compared to my last fight, I was working. I thought it was violent, but apparently from leaving, it's gotten that much more violent. So it's good that I'm not taking that risk anymore, especially with the UFC and the fight and all and my family. But it certainly is really the best time for me to be getting out is right now, and gonna be happy with my decision.
Yeah. Well, what's like the feeling like right now too? Because like you obviously had this all going for you and everything like that. But I mean, I think a year ago at this time, I don't even you weren't even signed by the UFC. So like, what's
Yeah,
it kind of been like?
it's kind of surreal that that it all fell into place right around this time. It's been a whirlwind, like from going to work, from doing the job as I've been doing for the past 10 years, and then all of a sudden I'm not doing that anymore. I know your guy's right there; he's up in your pocket. Yeah, and then just not doing that job anymore and focusing on pretty much being a stay-at-home dad when I'm not at the gym, which is awesome. It's what I've always wanted. Wife's a little jealous, but those are the cards that were dealt. So.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too. I mean, that must just be awesome too. That like you're not missing out as much.
Oh no, definitely not. It's great. I mean, for the past 10 years, I've missed out on everything. Birthday parties, holidays, um, going on vacation. My wife taking weekend trips down the shore with my son or her family, missing out on all that, and I don't have to miss that anymore unless I'm in camp. So I'm super excited for it.
Yeah. That's gotta make like things just too like I mean as far as like you said like camp, but like even when you're just putting time in the gym too, like between camps and stuff like that
Yeah,
too, it's nice to maybe have like a little like break like that too, or maybe like in the past you weren't able to do that all the way.
yeah. It's definitely really good. I mean, we have like a little vacation set up for after
Oh, nice.
For after, like, so I fly. I'll be home Sunday night, the 25th, and then I think we leave. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. I think
Okay.
I'm doing that. So yeah, it's really good. Just to have that time to be able to just relax. And then I'm going to be coming home and getting right back into camp for my brother. My brother, obviously he's fighting Kevin Holland on October 2nd, and he's going to be going, however many weeks that is. I think he's doing 10-week camp, maybe. But he's ready to go, and just that time away where I can take that time and just focus on obviously my little monster over there, and then just
Yeah.
the family. Yeah, so.
Cool. Where are you going? Like, where are you going? I mean, you gonna be sipping like margaritas on the beach or anything? Or?
No. I think we're doing Disney, so my wife was really excited about going back down to Disney. We haven't been there since last year with everything going on. So it's something that she really likes. I really enjoy it, and my son loves all the characters. So we're gonna be
Yeah.
headed down there and enjoying that.
That's like 15 minutes down the road from me. So
Perfect,
right in
man.
my backyard. So I'll wait
I'll
for you.
swing by. I'll swing by.
But yeah. So I mean, just we were kind of talking about this before we start recording too. But I mean, obviously you got a big fight coming up, and so is your
Yeah.
brother too, Kevin
Yeah.
Holland. What was kind of like that hearing that from him, like to get that kind of fight?
Yeah, it was definitely a little weird. I mean, we were talking off air. My brother, he's 1-2. We weren't expecting that big of a name in the UFC. We didn't know who he was going to get, to be honest with you. But they gave him. I guess apparently no one wanted the Kevin Holland fight. So if you know my brother, you know me. You give us a name and a date, we'll be there. It doesn't matter who it is. We'll fight anybody. So my brother got a new UFC contract along with the Kevin Holland fight. So it's really good for him. He's super excited, and it's a really exciting time. He could finally break into the top 15, so it'd be good.
Yeah. It's really crazy too when you look at like who's Kyle fought in his first like 4 UFC fights too, because they're all like pretty like
Yeah,
notable names. Like
yeah. They're not slouches, and that his division is, I'd say, the most stacked division in the UFC of the heavier weight classes. Like from 70 all the way to heavyweight, and he's not turning down any tough fights. He always wants the best fights, the best available guy at the time. And as you can tell, no one else wanted the Kevin Holland fight, so he's taking it.
Yeah, awesome. Now let's talk a little bit about you too. I mean,
All
as
right.
far as the train camp for this fight and everything, are like we already talked about how you have a little more time now, but have you been doing anything else like differently in the lead up to this one?
No, not really. It's just been business as usual. Just working on more of the same. Like I've said before, my fight camps are 80 to 90% wrestling or grappling based. So it's just more of that. I don't expect Shamil to be leaning on his grappling as much. He's a big single shot puncher. So except for little instances in exchanges that he gets into, but we're always game planning for opponents, but you can't be so focused on your opponent that you forget what you have to do. And I'm just going to do what I have to do and just come out there with a win.
Yeah. Well, like with that being said too, though, and just from him, like I'm sure he's watching like tape on you. I mean,
Yeah.
do you think he'll get in like a slugfest with you? Because if I'm him, I wouldn't want him, but
I wouldn't advise it.
yeah,
I mean, but from my fights, what he's probably thinking is, he'll might use his wrestling just to see where I'm at and to see, where I'm at. But everybody else was supposed to do that. Like Nascimento was supposed to do that. Olenek was supposed to do that, and look how that happened. So if he wants to do that, that's fine. I mean, I might take him down, beat him up on the ground a little bit, and then knock him out. So whatever he wants to do, he can try and do. But it's going to be me winning the fight. That's it.
yeah. Are you still training with like the same guys? Have you brought anybody into the camp or anything like that in like preparation? No.
Nah, same guy, same as usual. Big heavyweights that I have, especially on the weekends with sparring classes and stuff like that. Pat Brady is a big amateur that we have, and
Mm-hmm.
then Ryan Appleby is another amateur who trains out of Finishers MMA. It's like the 10th Planet. I think it's in Bethlehem. So he takes the trip down during the weekends to help spar and work on some wrestling. So it's really good for us, for my brother and me, especially working with Ryan, since he's a former D1 college wrestler. So it's really good for us. and yeah, just getting the awesome work in. So business as
Yeah.
usual with the big guys.
Yeah, that's great too. That like you have those guys like there too. Like you said, like Pat Bray. I know he's like a really good amateur too. And like,
Yep.
because I remember like just covering the like kind of that scene for so long, like New Jersey, Philly. I always felt like the heavyweight division was like the smallest as far as
Yeah.
like how many guys were in it. Like there wasn't
Yeah.
that many players. It didn't seem like.
No, and that's the thing. Like when I was coming up through the amateurs, I had the 4 amateur fights, and it was kind of like okay, you don't have anyone else to fight, so you have to go pro type thing. So that was kind of the thing, and we kind of all know each other, and we kind of all like train with each other at certain points until obviously we have to fight. But it is what it is, and everyone knows everyone, so it's good. If one guy's really good at one thing, you can, hey, give him a call, and we're all kind of local. So
Yeah. And just talk about Shamil a little bit too. I know when we talked about Olenek, the big thing of that was like cracking that top 15, and obviously
yep.
you're there now. This guy's ahead of you at 7. Just so what's kind of the feeling going into this one, I guess?
Just the feeling is just that he's a name. He's number 7, obviously, but he hasn't fought since 2019, so that's a little not worrying, but that's something that might play a factor in the fight. I don't want to say he's not a gatekeeper, but the people who have beat him in the UFC are the top tier guys of the UFC, like Curtis Blades and Derek Lewis. So I get past him, and when I get past him, I put my name amongst those guys, and I'm right there, the top 5, top 7 heavyweights in the world, and I honestly can't wait because that just shows that what I've been saying this whole time is that I'm the top heavyweight in the world. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you do that, it's gonna be crazy. Like we said, like at this point last year, you weren't even in the UFC, so to make
Yeah,
that jump so quickly is just, I mean, it's really amazing to
yeah,
see too, especially from watching on the regional scene. But
yeah.
what is your like? We talked a little bit about him, but when you think about this fight, is there a certain way you like visualize it kind of going?
No. It all depends. I like to react to what my opponents do. I'll show them a hand a little bit. I'll pressure them a little bit and see what happens. I know. I'll get them, and then just to see what happens because a lot of guys they're used to a pace at heavyweight, like a slow, methodic pace, and I come in there kind of high pace, high energy, and it all depends on what he wants. Like if he feels like he can stand and bang with me, good luck because he's not going to keep up with my hands. He's not going to keep up with my striking, and if he freaks out a little bit and panic wrestles, I'm more than well prepared to be able to deal with his wrestling.
Yeah. One of my last questions too is you talked about kind of like the Division 2 ahead of you and what this win can mean for you. What do you
Yeah,
kind of make of like what's ahead of you right now in the division? The interim title, all that good
yeah.
stuff.
It's a little crazy. There's kind of like a little bottleneck at the top. You got the 5 major players currently in the division. Well, 4 major players. You got Gon, Lewis, Francis, and Stipe. And then if you want to throw John Jones in there, you can throw John Jones in there. Um, I don't know what's going to happen because the whoever wins the interim, you have to assume is going to fight Francis before the end of the year, but you don't know when that is. Like, are they going to take it's so they fight August 7th? Are they going to take all of August off? Wait till like an end of the year card, like a December card to figure that out. And then Stipe, I think he said that he wanted to wait for a title shot again. So I don't know what they do as far as that. Like, do they do Gon versus Lewis? Do they do Francis and Stipe again for the trilogy fight, and then the 2 winners meet at the top and just figure out who's the champ? And then John Jones plays a factor because he's saying he wants to come back at heavyweight, but then I don't see him fighting anyone who's not the champ or an interim champ to get right into the title shot. So it sucks a little bit, but as of right now, all I can do is just fight the guys who are available for me right now. So that's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about like the whole like John Jones thing too. I was like, because obviously you got to think about you like number one, but I was just thinking as
Yeah.
like a fan point, like, did you ever see like when do you see Jones returning? Because like it's hard to like peg that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a little weird. Like he should have done it when he was still a 205er. He would have had that, that negotiating power. But it's kind of like he's in limbo. I don't know if the UFC is kind of over him or what. But obviously he'll make money You put him on any card at heavyweight, people are going to buy it.
Yeah.
And I just don't see him as a business standpoint and a career wise. I don't see him fighting anyone who's not the champ or the number one contender to get, just because it's too much risk. He's not going to fight the number 15 guy. We want? Oh, it's right here. Look. So, I don't see him fighting anyone outside of, like I said, the champ or the interim champ, just because it's bad for his image and his career. Like, it's the risk and reward. 1 second, brother. The risk and reward is just too great. Like, especially with heavyweights, he gets hit one time. No one really knows how his chin's going to hold up again, especially with the heavyweights. And I don't think he wants to take that kind of damage. Just even leg kicks, body kicks, just like just the we hit hard. I mean, heavyweights hit hard. Now, granted, 205ers, a lot of them cut from like 230, 240.
Yeah.
But there's something else to say about, big heavyweights like Francis or Cyril or Derek Lewis hitting you. And, you're only getting paid X amount of dollars and it's not for a belt. And then you're kind of like, this isn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah, at the same time, there's guys that cut down to 265. So
Exactly. So you're like, am I really doing this or what? So.
Yeah.